everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first video of 2023. In this video, I am going to be going over my plans for the year, which I have a lot of plans, and this is basically going to end up being a WIP parade because I set little goals for all of my projects because one of the things that I would like to do this year is work on all my projects. The only thing is I have two projects that I am technically UFOing. I have decided that I only want to work on one long dog sampler at a time, so I am going to be working on my oldest, and then my other two are just going to be put aside for now, and then once I finish the one that I'm working on, then I will pull out the old one. So you will not see two of my long dog samplers because they are technically UFO'd, but you'll be seeing basically everything else. So the way that I've journaled this year is I technically have this journal here. I didn't do it in this one. I bought this physical journal, and this is from, I think they're called like Heroes Quest or something. And when you bought the physical journal, they also sent you a digital journal. And I decided I wanted to make a digital journal so that I would be able to put in pictures. So I will be inserting pictures into my video of my digital journal because I ended up, for my digital journal, I put the goal for each project, and then I also put a picture of what it looks like at the beginning of the year, and then at the end of the year I will be able to go back in and then put in a picture of the end of the year. And then also the app that I'm using is called Penly on Android, and it allows you to do a bunch of customization to your digital journal. Okay, anyways, this is going to be a lot of talking, so it's going to be a lot. So to start off with, I have my first section of my digital goals is my finish section. So I'm going to be starting with the charts that I want to finish. So the first one is Kita by Pinky the Pink, and her charts are available on makeitpink.net. And I'm not going to say it every time, but I'll be inserting pictures of what the project will look like when it's finished. And I will also be inserting the picture from the digital journal so that you can see the goal. And then I also broke each goal down into mini goals. So like for Kita, I put finish full crosses, and that's one thing that I can check off when I finish full crosses. Then finish backstitch, and then finish beads because this chart has a ton of backstitch and beads. And here is where I am on Kita right now. She is being stitched on 28 count fabric, 2/2 full cross, and it's fabric that I dyed myself. And I think that this part right here is about the halfway part of this chart, and I've started it so long ago that I really just need to get it finished this year, especially because I also have other charts from Pinky the Pink, like I have Link and Zelda, and I bought the fabric for Link when I was in Colorado at the Stitchers retreat, so I really would like to be able to start Link, but I'm going to not start him until I finish Kita. So that is Kita, and she, if you don't know who she is from the Disney movie Atlantis. So that's the first thing that I would like to finish this year. The next one is Crystal Palace by Mandarin's Design. Here's where I am on it. It's upside down. Here's where I am on it at the start of the year. And then for this one, the mini goals that I set is I have a goal of like reach 50%, reach 75%, and then reach 100% so I can check off all the mini goals because I really like checking things off. So setting mini goals makes it easier to reach the big goal for me. And then at the start of this year, I am at 20% on this chart, so I'm not that far. But the chart is also only 20,000 stitches, so it seems small compared to like a Haid. So that is Crystal Palace. The next one is Persona 5, which is a free chart that I found on Sprite Stitch. And here is the start of this. And the goals that I have for this are similar to Crystal Palace, where it's just reach 50, reach 75, and then reach 100%. And then at the start of this year, it is at 19%. And this is a small chart, so it only has 9,000 stitches. So maybe it won't take that long. I have finished 1,800 stitches, so it's small. And this is being stitched on, what is this? 14 count plastic canvas. The next one is The Red Ship of Lesser Commitment by Ink Circles. And so I would like to also have this finished this year. And so I would like to finish page 1 first, obviously, and then I have a goal to finish page 2 and then finish page 3 and 4, and those are really small pages. And this is a really small chart. So like the halfway point on the chart is somewhere around here, and I am stitching this on Deep Sea fabric. I cannot remember who it's by though. And the colors I'm using are Ribbon Red and Chili Pepper by Classic Colorworks. The next thing I would like to finish is the Very Viking Stitch Along by Quaternion Creations. This was a stitch along, I think it came out last year and I did not keep up with it. So my goals is reach 45, reach 70%, and then reach 100%. And on this chart, because it's in Pattern Keeper, I know that right now I'm starting at 15.8%, and there are 11,000 stitches total, and I have done 1,800 stitches. So I need to get moving on this, and this is 28 count Whisper Lugana. And now there's only 2 more charts that I would like to get finished this year. They're also kind of smaller ones. Most of the things I wanted to finish this year are smaller charts, just so I can get those out of my WIP list and maybe get my WIP number down a little bit this year. And so there is Stardew Autumn, which is by Glitch Stitch AU. And to make this one easier to get finished, I broke it down into seasons. So right now I am at 31% on this chart. I would like to reach 50% by winter, which we're in winter right now because I'm in the northern hemisphere. So it's winter right now. I would like to reach 50% on this chart during winter. During spring, I want to reach 75%, and then during summer, I will be able to stitch the last bit to get to 100%. And this chart is 19,000 stitches, and so far I have completed 6,000. And this is being stitched on 28 count, 2/110 stitch, so it's teeny tiny. And then the other one, my last finish for the year, hopefully, is Stardew Winter, which is also by Glitch Stitch AU. These are like a little set, and I am also planning on starting the spring summer one later in the year. And so I have the same goals for this, where I just started this one in winter. So in winter I want to reach 25%, in spring I want to get to 50%, summer I want to get to 75%, and then hopefully I can finish it in the fall then. And this chart is the same size as fall, so it's 19,000 stitches, and right now I am at 7.2%. And this is also being stitched on 28 count 2/110 stitch because I want it to be the same finish size as fall. So now I will move on to my next category. And my next category for goals is things where it's page goals, color goals, because some of my charts I am stitching extreme cross country, so charts where I want to finish like a certain color, and then also detail goals. So like there are some charts where I would like to just finish their face or things like that. So to start with is the first one is I want to finish the top row of Templar Prophecy by Long Dog Samplers. Right now I'm not even halfway done with the top row, and I started this a long time ago. I don't have it written down here, but it was a long time ago. And so I think I'm almost done with page 2, and there are 5 pages in the top row, so I want to finish page 3, finish page 4, and then finish page 5 of those, and that will get me to my goal. And I am stitching this on 22 count fabric that I dyed myself, and I am using DMC 666. So the next one, and this is one of the ones where it's kind of like detail goals, and it is Game of Thrones by Tilton Crafts. It's no longer available anymore, I don't think. And I would like to finish Daenerys's face, so she is down here. Let me get the threads off of her. So I would like to have her face finished this year. And then I also would like to go back to stitching on the diagonals and finish this diagonal here, and then also finish one more diagonal. And that is the goal for that. Right now I am starting this chart at 5.9%. And the next one is Santa's on His Way by Charting Creations. And for this one, my goal is to reach the bottom left corner stitching around the outside. So last year when I was stitching on this chart, I stitched up to the top, I stitched to the right corner, and so my goal is I want to stitch down to the bottom right corner and then reach the center of the bottom row and then reach the bottom left corner, just stitching around the outside, kind of like when you're doing a puzzle and you do like the outside of the puzzle first. And so I would just like to stitch my way around the outside of this chart. I am stitching this on 28 count. I just got a message. 28 count 2/110 stitch. And I am at 8.2% on that chart right now. And then the next chart is Sailor Moon by Tilton Crafts. And this one, when I say the goal, it sounds like deceptive. So the goal is I want to finish Sailor Moon, but I don't want to finish the whole chart. I want to finish her, the person, Sailor Moon. So I want to finish her, Sailor Moon. So my goal for this is, my mini goals is to finish her face and hair, then to finish her torso, and then get her legs finished, and then that will have got me to my goal of finishing her. And then this chart is deceptive. So it says I'm at 17%, but I'm not, because I cropped out the top and the bottom of the chart because there was a lot of background. So I had marked off those stitches as done in Pattern Keeper, but like I'm not stitching them. So I'm not at 17%. Those numbers are wrong. So then the next goal is, this is the one that I'm stitching Extreme Cross Country, and it is on Dear Alice. And I would like to finally finish, which way is the right way? Okay, I would like to finally finish the 310. So here's where I am on Dear Alice. There are 17,000 stitches left of 310, and I am at 5.2% right now. So I'm hoping that this year I can get the black done. I am stitching this on 18 count 2/1 full cross, which is making it take a lot longer when I'm stitching it. It's a lot slower doing full cross, but yeah, I just need to get the black done because I started this a long time ago. It was like 2019 or 2020. I started a whole bunch of things and then didn't get very far. So there's that. Then on Witcher, my goal on this is to finish 2 colors on Witcher. I am also stitching him Extreme Cross Country by color. This is, okay, I don't know if I said, Dear Alice is a chart from Artisy, and I'm stitching the large version. Witcher is also a large version, and Witcher is from Thread Geeks. So here is Witcher, and I would like to finish the color 844, which has 4,000 stitches, and then also the color 415, which has 5,000 stitches. And 844 is more like in his face, and then in his clothes down here. And then I picked one background color, which was 415, because I figured I need to get the background stitched eventually, because otherwise if I stitch all of him, because I really wanted to pick all the colors in his face, but I was like, if I stitch his face first, I'm never going to stitch the background. So I picked one background color just to be good, and Witcher is at 11.3%. And I'm stitching this on 25 count 2/1 10 stitch. The next chart is, this is one where I put a bunch of charts together, and it's the sprite sampler. So I'm taking a bunch of charts from video games and shows and just putting them all together onto one. And my goal for this is to finish Ichigo, which is this guy here. He is from Bleach. And then also to finish the Pokemon chart, and this chart here is from Glitch Stitch AU. I love Glitch Stitch AU's charts. They have an Etsy store, and just everything they release is just like, I want it all, but I can't stitch everything. And on the Pokemon chart, because it's in Pattern Keeper, I am at 16%. The chart has 11,000 stitches total, and I have done almost 2,000, so it's not that, I'm not very close to finishing, but hopefully. We'll see. And this is 18 count 2/1 full cross. The next one is Autumn Harmony by Maxine Gadd, and my goal is a percent goal. I would like to reach 20% on her, and right now it's at 10%. So here's Autumn Harmony. And I broke this down into smaller goals of like reach 15%, reach 20%, and then I did a bonus of like if I could reach 25%. And I might be using this chart for, I joined a stitching group on Facebook, I can't remember the name, but it's one where they do different fandoms, and last year was Star Wars, I think, and then this year is Lord of the Rings. So they have a challenge where it's a yearly challenge for stitching pages. So every page you finish, you get points for the page. And I think I might use her, so I might start at the top corner up here and then work on stitching the pages down from here. And then I can use that for the yearly stitching in the Lord of the Rings group. So she is being stitched on 18 count 2/1 full cross. I'm gonna have so much stuff to put away after this, I'm kind of scared. So there was Autumn Harmony, which was by Maxine Gadd, and then the next one is Mariner by Maxine Gadd. And for her, she has a detail goal, and I would like to finish her face this year. So here she is right now. And then I broke it down into smaller little goals. So one of them is to finish her chin because there are still some confetti stitches in her chin that need to be finished. Then to finish her cheek, and then finish her forehead. And the forehead is going to take the longest because it has the least done so far. And right now she is at 6%, and I'm stitching her on 28 count 2 over 1 10 stitch. And then on my chart, My Yara Salome by Nene Thomas, my goal on this is another detail goal, and I would like to finish the face and hair on the girl. So right up here is where the hair is going to be. Right here is like the lacy little things that are in her hair. And so her face is somewhere around here. I can't tell exactly where when I look at the chart because the colors for her face are the same colors as her hair, kind of like her face and skin is kind of grayish, which is the same color as her hair. So it's hard to distinguish what's face and what's hair, but I really want to get her face done so I can see how it's going to turn out. And I am stitching this on 27 count 2 over 1 10 stitch. And right now it's only at 3%, which is just sad. So sad. And then on the chart Sanctuary, I would like to finish the fairy because on charts like these where like there's something that has a lot of confetti, I will usually kind of avoid the confetti area and just stitch all around it. So I want to get the fairy finished. And then from there, I would also like to stitch down to reach the bottom left corner of the chart. And then I put a bonus goal for this of reaching the center of the bottom row so that I can kind of from there work my way up the chart and get to some other details, because the bottom of the chart has a lot of like fun green flowery like fern areas. So that would be fun to reach. And right now it's at 5.3%, and I am stitching this on 28 count 2 over 1 10 stitch. And then I have another chart that I'm stitching Extreme Cross Country, and that is Yennefer, which is by Charting Creations. And she is also from the show Witcher, and my goal for her is to finish the 310. There are 19,000 stitches left of 310. And right now I am at 21% of the chart, which is technically wrong because I cropped off part of the left side of the chart, and I cropped it off because I wanted her to be the same finish size as my Witcher chart. So if I cropped a little bit of the left side off, and then I'm also stitching them on a different count fabric, I could get them to almost the same finish size, and I really want that so they can be like hung up matching together. So that is that. And like I said, just want to finish the 310, but that's a lot of black. I'm gonna have so much black to stitch because I want to finish the 310 on her and on Dear Alice, and I think there's another chart where I said I wanted to stitch the 310. That's a lot. Anyways, oh, and then I also never mentioned that it's just so sad that they recast The Witcher, so like my Witcher chart isn't going to be accurate anymore. I mean, Henry Cavill is probably like the preferred Witcher. He's the original Witcher, but now it's not going to be him anymore. It's, what is it, Liam Hemsworth, I think? We'll see how that goes. And then he's not even going to be in Superman, Henry Cavill. Anyways, so the next chart is Keyblades to the Kingdom Stitch Along, which is a Kingdom Hearts Stitch Along by Stitchy Rin. And my goal for this is I am going to leave this area up here, and I want to actually start stitching the big Keyblades. And so my goal is to stitch 2 of the big Keyblades this year, and then my bonus goal is to finish the word Kingdom up here, because the Kingdom, that word's gonna take forever, and it's all just one color, so it's like not the most exciting thing to stitch, but it needs to be done. So bonus is if I finish that, and then yeah, and then I want to stitch 2 of the big Keyblades. So, and this is being stitched on 18 count 2 over 1 full cross in some fabric that I dyed. I dyed it pink, and then I was like, what am I gonna do with pink fabric? And I was like, just do anything with it, it's fine. Anyway, so there's that. The next one is a chart that you saw in Flossmas if you watched Flossmas, and I haven't worked on it since then because I am over Christmas stitching now, and that is the 12 Nights of Christmas Stitch Along by Atomic Tiki Pins, and my goal for this is to finish the center of the chart. So this is a stitch along. It's got Christmas movies. There was 24 Christmas movies released, I think. So you could pick which ones you wanted to put in there. And yeah, my main goal is just going to be to finish the center. If I get more done, that's great, but who knows. And this is being stitched on 18 count fabric that I dyed black. So there's that. The next thing is I would like to finish the owl on Fables by Gecko Rouge, and I started this in Flossmas. Here it is. I have more done than it looks like, but a lot of the colors are really light, which was kind of surprising because it doesn't use that many colors and a lot of the colors are very light. So I'm like, how is this going to work? But I have seen people stitch it and it looks really good. So I will trust it. And yeah, just finish the owl. Is my goal for this, and right now I'm only at 1.9%, so that's sad. And I am stitching this on 25 count 2/1, I think 10 stitch, which is a half stitch. And then on my Pokemon chart from Lord Libidin, I am stitching the Gen 1 Pokemon, and I started this during Flossmas, so I didn't get that much done because I only worked on the charts for one day. There's a hair. No, it's not a hair, it's a string. Anyways, on this chart, I would like to finish 2 pages going along the top row. So I broke it down into mini goals where it's finish page 1, finish page 2, and then I gave myself a little bonus, which is if I possibly were to stitch another page. And I'm stitching this on 28 count 2/1, 10 stitch. And right now, all I have is this small little start of Zapdos, but even though he is small, he looks great. He's fabulous, so. The next one is another Flossmas start, so it only had 1 day working on it, and that is the chart Piper Boy by Gecko Rouge. And my goal for this is I want to stitch 3 pages, finish 3 pages, and the 3 pages I want to finish are the pages that are around the boy in the middle. So there's technically 4 pages right here. There's like 1 page here, 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 and then here. And my goal is that I want to finish the 2 pages that are on the top, and then this page here, I think it was, because that has most of him, and so he will be stitched. Right now I am at 0.6%, and I think this is 28 count fabric, 2/1, 10 stitch. The next one is I would like to finish 2 pages on Mini Masquerade Pale Dawn, which is a chart by Hade. And right now I am just still in this top little corner. And so I want to finish this page up here, the first page, and then stitch page 2. And then for a bonus, if I somehow miraculously have way more time to stitch than I think, I would also like to stitch page 3, and that would get the top row of this chart finished. Because it's a mini, it only is like 3 by 3, so it's only like 9 pages. And right now I'm at 3.2%, and I'm not even in camera anymore. I am stitching this on 28 count 2/1, 10 stitch, and then I am stitching this on pink fabric because the border along here is not fully stitched, and so you'll be able to see fabric when it's finished, so I wanted it to be a prettier fabric. Plus I also didn't want to be stitching all the whites on white fabric because I hate that. There's that. And then the next 2 are my new start. So I had a New Year's Eve new start, plus I also had a New Year's Day new start. And so the first one I'll be showing is my New Year's Day start, which is Lord of the Rings by Glitch Stitch AU. I started this January 1st, and my goal for this chart is to finish the 310, so more black stitching, yay! There are 4,353 stitches of 310, and I also put a bonus goal for myself where maybe possibly stitch another color because this is a small chart, so the colors don't have that many stitches for this one, so there's that. And then this is the last one of these goals, and then I'll be working onto WIPs that have other goals, which are like seasonal kind of goals. And so this is the chart that I started. I actually started it December 30th, and this is Dark Cinderella by Pain Free Crafts. I need to say that first. And my goal for this is I'm going to stitch this one diagonally. I'm hoping I can stick with it better than Game of Thrones because there's not like a face to distract me. There's not anything to distract me, hopefully. So I'm stitching it diagonally, and my goal is I would like to stitch 5 diagonals of this chart, and I actually like took a screenshot, and so I had finished one diagonal when I started it on the 30th, so I'm not counting that one. That one was finished last year, 2022. So I am almost finished with this diagonal right here, and then that will be my first diagonal finished, and then I will still have to stitch 4 more diagonals for this year. So there's that. I am stitching this on 32 count 1/1 10th stitch. So I wanted to test out the 32, see how I like it. We'll see how it goes. It seems very small. So those were all of the detail or color goals. And then I have charts where I don't necessarily have goals on things that I want to get done. I just know I want to work on them this year. And so I gave them kind of daily goals, but also combined it with seasons. So example is Tarotown II, which is by Hayde. I would like to work on it at least 2 days in 2 different seasons. So I have it like put down to work on in the spring for my first season, and then also in the autumn. And that way there won't be long breaks in between working on projects. Hopefully this way, like, I realized during Flossmas that there were charts I hadn't worked on in over a year, and I really don't like that. Like, even if I'm not getting a lot of progress, I would at least like to stitch on things every few months so that they're not just never getting worked on. Here's where this chart is starting at. And this is a big chart. I am possibly not stitching the background, which is why it's on dyed fabric. I had originally started this on 22 count, and I hated the 22 count, so I decided to restart it on 28 count. And I decided I would start in the middle and possibly only stitch the floating islandy area, because that's the part that really attracted me to the chart, was the big floating castle. I love castles. And so yeah, I just want to work on it 2 days in 2 different seasons. And that's the same with all of these charts that I'm going to be showing you. There are 6 charts. They all have the same goal, work on it 2 days in 2 different seasons, but they're alternating seasons. So I have some groups of charts that are spring and autumn, and then some groups are winter, summer, so that they are alternating, so they're not being worked on 2 seasons in a row. They're being worked on every other season, if that makes sense. And so the next one is Walking in the Rain by Artisy, and I would like to work on it in spring, and then I would also like to work on it in fall. And this is the cropped large version of the chart. And right now I am at 5.8%, and I am stitching this on 25 count 2/1 10 stitch. And then there is Rainbow Basin by Tilton Crafts, and I would like to work on this one in the spring and autumn. And I actually went through in my Happy Planner, and I actually put all of these charts into months already, so I already have it figured out which months they're being worked on, but I didn't write it down here, so I can't remember exactly. But I basically have one of these charts assigned to each month already, so I know when I should be working on it for the 2 days. And this is Rainbow Basin, which is by Tilton Crafts. I am stitching this on 36 count 1/1 10th stitch. And then there is Heaven on Earth 2 by Charting Creations. And I would like to work on this one in winter and then summer. So I figured winter, obviously, because this is like a winter chart, and then also summer, and then I think I have this assigned to July for Christmas in July. And then there is Sun and Stars by Tilton Crafts, and this one is in the winter and summer, so work on it in the winter, also in the summer. And I think this one might be in August, because it's probably not gonna happen, but last year in August was when House of the Dragons was on, so maybe I'll do like some Game of Thrones rewatch the old seasons of Game of Thrones maybe. And for people who don't know, this was from, what was this from? Game of Thrones. It's Daenerys and Khal Drogo. I loved them. And right now it's only at 1.7%, and this is being stitched on 28 count 2/1 10 stitch. And then this is the very last chart, and then you will have seen, I think, like 35 different projects or something, 33, something ridiculous. And the last one is Snow Cherries by Maxine Gadd, another Maxine Gadd, and I would like to work on this in winter because she is kind of winter, and then also summer. So here is where I'm at on Snow Cherries. She is at 1.5%, so she is barely start. She is some BS, so I need to really get stitching on her. And she is being stitched on 28 count. No, I think it's 28. It's 28 or 27. I can never tell those apart. 2/1 10 stitch. And that is everything that I have started. I will say that I do have one planned start already, and it's for in the spring, on spring 1st. I would like to start Stardew Valley, the spring summer chart, which is by Glitch Stitch AU. And my goal for that one is I'm going to start it in the spring, hopefully reach 25%, in the summer reach 50, in the fall get to 75, and then next winter, so like January-ish, I would hopefully finish that chart. So that's it though. That's all my goals for the year. If I don't finish them this year, I'm not going to be upset about it, because to me, all of these are kind of things that I would need to do for the charts just in general. So like the ones where I picked a color. No matter what, I would be working on the 310 for Dear Alice. Right now, I have just kind of set it as a goal of like, ooh, possibly finish it this year. If I don't finish it this year, I'll just roll it into next year. It's not a huge deal. I'm not going to be upset, but yeah. So that is everything though, and that is a lot of talking, and I'm gonna have a ton of editing to insert all these pictures. But thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I hope you will stick around to see the progress that I make on these projects throughout the year, and I will see you all in my next video, which will hopefully be soon with some good progress. Bye everyone.